Hello and welcome! I am here to walk you through the revamp that has been ongoing to the Lord of the Rings trading card game wiki by the Players Council. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So first of all, the URL, which we'll make sure is in the description, is wiki.lordoftheringstradingcardgameplayerscouncil.net. Bit of a mouthful, but once you have it bookmarked, who cares? As you can see, if you are familiar at all with the way that the wiki used to look, this is very different from what the opening index main page used to look like. We've got a little blurb here to help brand new players or people just barely coming in to understand a little bit of what's going on. We've got links over to the most commonly used communities, as well as a link over to GEMP to play online. And then we have a few getting started links here to help with very commonly used links, in particular the official rulebooks. Moving on down, we've got the sets have been rearranged and have new images that have been applied. We took requests from the community as far as which cards to represent here. My apologies if your suggestion didn't make it, but we did try to make sure that each of the images represents hopefully an iconic card of the particular set, and if not, at least something that matches the name of the set itself, so that new players are not confused. We've also got a section for fan sets, at the moment only populated by the Hobbit draft game, but as additional sets are released, in particular from the Players Council, we should have room here to just plop them in as they are ready. We have also taken the Wiki Index, which used to be pretty hidden, required you to click on a couple of links to get through, and that is now entirely hosted here on the main page, so that anything that you might have a question about should be able to be found somewhere in here. There's a lot of red links, a lot of articles that really could use some cleaning up, but this information is an at-a-glance, bird's eye view of all the different things that you might possibly want to have answered by a wiki. And so this is the perfect entry point to start a wiki walk. So I would like to also show some of the changes that have occurred to the organization of the wiki articles themselves for the different cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at Fellowship of the Ring here. So this has been completely revamped. Rather than just a list of links to all the individual cards, we now have a readout that is browsable on its own for each individual card. We have the game text, we have the portrait of that particular card, and we also have a hoverable link that will allow you to look at the card in full itself. So for a lot of cases where one is trying to just browse through, this should allow anyone to browse at their heart's content without needing to load individual pages in between. We've also started to introduce some additional organization that wasn't there before by splitting up the table where necessary. So here we have the full regular cards up above this line, and then we have the oversized cards separated out into their own table. It's a bit of a toy example here for Fellowship of the Ring, but for things like the promotional set that have 5 or 6 different subsets within them, this should help really organize what's going on. And in some things like the post Shadows, post movie block era, we should be able to have a lot more organization to the rare foils and the masterworks and things like that. So to show off some of the additional changes to the cards themselves, let's find Gimli, Son of Gloin, and he's up here in the Dwarven section. So we'll just go ahead and click on here. Now, if you were familiar at all with the old wiki, you'll recognize all of this information, which is exactly the same, but everything else has changed. So first off, let's take a look at the alternate personas list down here. This used to just be a blank list of links that you would just have to click and hope that you're able to find what you're looking for. But now this has the same treatment that the set listing itself does. So you're able to see all of the individual portraits, and you've got a readout of the game text itself, and you can also hover over and try to find the particular card that you're looking for. The info box has also been revamped. All of the individual stats that you might want to know are in here. Information on translations is also in these tables for all of the languages that we have, most of which were farmed from the Lord of the Rings Online data dump. And then up here, you've also got the ability to take a look at all the different versions of a particular card. So here we've got the Tangwar version of this card, we've got the German version of this card, and we also have placeholders for like the foil versions of the card, which we don't. Well, we have lots of images, but we don't have them all uploaded and processed and so forth. For any individual card, you can click on this button up here, and that will allow you to see all of the different thumbnails, and you can click on whichever one you want. So here's the Chinese one, and that changes what's up here. We've also got a dedicated collection tab where you can browse all of those individual versions and take a look at them all side by side. And it will also give you some information on how those individual cards could be obtained. So here we have the different chances that a card would show up in the booster pack. It lists off the different languages that a card is available in. And there's also a lot of placeholder information because nobody has come through and actually cleaned up this article yet. But it is there for anybody who is in the know to come in and fix. We've also got a history tab, which for most cards won't have much, or if anything, in it. But any card that has an errata should eventually have the entire history of all the erratas in here, which will be a finite number for the Decipher cards. But as the Players' Council continues to issue errata in the future, this should be a valuable resource for looking up all the different reasons why something may have been changed. And then over here, this data tab, this is something I don't expect a lot of people to directly interact with, but this is the reason why all of the different other features that we've shown off in this video have been able to be used at all. Rather than in the past where the wiki was entirely just a set of text files that you edited and that was that, now we have a fully fledged database that contains all of the information of all these cards. And so when a table is being created, this table is actually asking the database, hey, give me all of the cards named Gimli, and we'll slap it up here in a way that looks very very fashionable and nice. And so this gives us a lot of power and allows us to turn our attention away from tediously trying to keep tables updated and allowing us to just let the computer do all the tricky bits. So there's another card I'd like to take a look at. Let's look at Albert Dreary. So this guy has had his article polished up a little bit to include some of the various features that I think will be useful for new and returning players. So all of the individual culture icons you can see here have not only the culture icon itself, but also the name, just to help anybody who doesn't have all of the symbols memorized. And then each of the mentions of another card have also been given the hover over treatment, so that as you are browsing and as you are reading through these articles, it's very quick and easy to see what a card is without needing to click on the link and open up 10 different tabs like you had to before. And as you come in and contribute to the wiki, if you are so inclined, you'll see that it is not difficult to do these things. So here we have a culture template that's just abbreviated with C. That's very simple and doesn't break up the flow at all. Same with the cards. You just have to look up the collector's info of the card that you want to mention and then use this card template, and it is practically almost as readable in the edited form here as it is in the article itself. So this is a lot of work has been put in to make this as streamlined as possible for anybody coming in to edit. There's still some scary stuff in here. I totally understand. Not everyone is going to be able to understand some of the things that's going on in here, but we don't expect you to. What we really want is for people to be able to just jump in as quick as possible and edit whatever they need to edit on these articles. I would also like to say something about something that has jumped up on the screen a couple of times. For some cards, we simply don't have the images. The foils in particular are one that we practically have nothing in here. We have a lot of images actually in our archives, but we don't have them all processed and uploaded. And this is something that we would definitely like the community to help with. If you are browsing through the wiki and you find that there is a card that does not have an image, but you have it in your collection somewhere, we would really appreciate it if you could take some time to scan those in, take a picture with your phone, whatever you can, just to give us something. Even a blurry, crappy photo is better than nothing. And later on, once we've actually begun to fill out our collection here, we can start to worry about making sure that we've got pristine copies of everything. But there are, as you can see, a lot of holes. Anyway, that about wraps it up. If you have any questions about this, feel free to post in the comments below or on Facebook. And if you are finding yourself inclined at all to join up with the wiki, I would encourage you to. Anonymous edits are enabled, although they will have to go through a moderation queue in that case. But to get around that, simply make an account and ping us, and we will unlock those restrictions from you, and you can go and edit to your heart's content. Once again, that link will be in the description for you to check out the wiki, and otherwise, thanks, and have fun playing.